Holy shit! Holy shit! Where am I? I got it. Where the fuck am I? Oh, which one got here? I got the notification. Which one got here? Which one got here? I've had two phases of hat collecting. Recently, my hat collecting phase where I became a real hat collector was in August of 2016 when I joined Lids and got a Cubs hat. And I started to collect hats more and more as, hey, I want to wear these hats, and they're cool looking. They're a team that I like. My origins of hats comes from vacations. This is one of my vacation hats, where on our family vacation, we've gone on many. We've gone on vacations. The first one that I can remember was to Disney World in August of 2000. All the family went. My mom's mom and sister went along with, because I was 5 at the time. And it was in 2nd grade that I'd read about the presidents of the United States and how cool they were, and that they helped people with their job. And I would want to do that too. And I read about all the presidents. I memorized them. I could recite them. And I could tell you all the fun facts about them and their pets and their crazy hobbies. Our family, we joke that instead of normal families going on vacations to the beaches, to Hawaii, to an amusement park, or just to relax somewhere, we chase dead presidents. That's what we say. We chase dead presidents. And we did that for many, many years, and we still kind of do that on our vacations now. But we've incorporated different food places and other historical places to visit, national parks and monuments, and some other tourist attractions to go and visit too. But the one rule for vacation that was very standard, I feel like my parents kind of broke it here and there, but the one standard rule I remember was, you get one souvenir per vacation. And for me, I usually got a shirt, but more often I got a hat. So that's kind of where my hat collecting really started, on vacations and wanting to get hats. This Grand Canyon one was from 2011, and this one has seen a lot of wear and tear, but one of my favorite hats of all times, really. The meaning behind it. So I'm going on vacation myself soon, and I'm recording this. It's Friday, August 20th, and we leave on the 25th, the Wednesday, and we're going to be gone until Monday, the 30th. And we're going all the way out in the corner, all the way out west, Pacific Northwest to Seattle. As a family, we've been to 38 states, I think, for my last count. And we're going to add 2 more, Washington and Oregon. So we're going to be gone for just a few days, not even a week, maybe just over a weekend trip, really. So the question is, what hats do I have to pack? Well, let's go over that in this video. It's going to be a little bit of a vlog video. And some surprises later on that I don't even know about as I'm recording this. So we'll see how it works out in post and after the vacation. So you'll see this after all the vacation is done with. So, get out your suitcase, get out your plane tickets and your boarding passes and whatever you need for vacation. Because class is in session for a field trip. Kind of. Field trip. Summer vacation? Whatever you want to call it. Roll the intro. Billy, roll the intro. Billy, I'm on vacation. You're not. You're just lazy. Yeah. Big red button. There you go. There you go. So, we haven't been on a family vacation in over a year. Well, since 2019, because, 2020. Last time we were on vacation, we went international. We kind of peaked, to be honest. We went to London and Paris. We went international. My brother was doing a study abroad program for architecture in Paris and dabbled, and they traveled to Greece for a little bit. And I remember we met him at his Paris apartment. He gave me a hat, and he said, "Here, now you have a good-looking hat in your collection." So this is my Panama hat that he gave me straight from Greece. So, and it fits it just a bit snug, but that's fine. It's a really nice hat. As my brother said, quote, "This is the only good-looking hat in my collection." So, I have to take his word for it. So, we're going to Seattle, outside of Seattle, really. And we're going to dabble into Oregon a bit. Probably not going to go to a game in Seattle, which they're in town, and either they're playing the Astros or the Royals, and it really sucks. It's as of now, COVID numbers are rising, which sucks. Well, you better be vaccinated. I've been out for a while, and if you can, go back to wearing a mask. It's recommended. I wish I could go. I really want to go. We'll still see how it goes. It's still up in the air. All the other activities we're going to do is pretty much outside in nature. So I'm trying to think of hats I need that, one, are for the Seattle area. I only have a few, and also outdoorsy hats that, I'm not going to be able to bring like a whole bottle full of the Crown Clean stuff. I only have like one or two Crown wipes, and it's too late to order anymore. So yeah, need to be very careful with what I bring. I sweat through it. I don't know how well the recovery is going to be possible, but it's not like I can just come home from a game at Wrigley Field or from a day downtown and be like, oh, the hat's all sweaty on the bottom. Let me clean it off with some Crown Clean, some Crown Foam, and I'll be good. No, it's not going to be like that. So, gotta think a little bit more carefully here. So, going on the rack here, the first hat I gotta throw in here is Seattle Krakens. The dad hat, 4-7 brand cleanup, of course. This is very nice. It's gonna be comfortable. I might wear this one on the flight, depending on if I get my Mariners hat in time. But I'm probably gonna wear this one anyways on the flight. The other hat I'm on the fence of is my Seattle Storm hat. Now, of course, it's a very nice hat. But for me, thinking of how I'm going to transport my hat. Now, I'm not going to be using this luggage necessarily as my ways and means of transportation for my clothing items. Maybe, but more I'm thinking of my regular backpack. So I don't have a whole lot of room, and space is going to be very limited. So if I bring too many of these bigger, bulkier snapback or fitted hats, I can only bring like maybe 2 or 3, so I have to be kind of limited, because they do stack up nicely, but they take up a little bit more space than a crushable dad hat would. A little bit easier to travel with than this type. So this is a maybe, but it would be a nice one to bring along. Nice green, represents the good basketball team in Seattle right now. Alright, moving from the desk over there and kind of walking around my basement here with all the different hats just lying around. Two are on the clothesline over there, drying off from a sticker removal and with some Crown White clean stuff. So it's going to be outdoors, and we're going to be doing a lot of outdoor stuff, whether it be hiking or just being outside. And it kind of rains a lot in Seattle, if you didn't hear or didn't know. And we're going to be, of course, doing a lot of activity, so there's potential of a lot of humidity and a lot of perspiration. And I might sweat a lot more than a lot of average people. So I sure. I mean, I paid a little bit too much for this at Railing House. I think it was like maybe $30 plus tax. That's a lot for a dad hat, to be honest. Even if it's extra special material, different material, it's still a lot. So Railing House also work on your membership and discount pricing. And of course, being in Seattle, I had gotten a Seattle Mariners hat where a few months ago, the Emerald collection. This was really nice. I didn't know it was going to be a black hat. So I have it, but ironically, I'm not going to bring this because the color not being the team color and white foot band and knowing how bad it's going to get. And it's, even after stretching it out, it still doesn't fit all too well. It's really unfortunate. I haven't really put a whole lot of effort into it, but even my try that stretching it out didn't give me some good results in the end. So instead of that Mariners hat, I'm going to bring this crown-minded one. This one is from their first round of their NHL Face-Off collection, and compared to the cross-check of what Heck did, I like the crown-minded one quite a bit more. This one is a blue bottom and has the black guts as the traditional footband, and red button incorporates the red eye from the Kraken logo into the hat actually, which Heckler didn't do. And I know it's only one color, but it really ties in the whole thing together. And I did like the mint bottom for the Mariners Hat Club one, but Crown-Minded did it better. So this one for sure I'm going to bring, and this one fits so good. So this one for sure I'm going to bring along. I'm pretty sure it misses. And I also had wanted to get the Kraken hat that was the anchor and the Seattle Space Needle, but that I forgot about that, so that's not happening. But maybe it'll be at one of the stores when I get there, or at a mall somewhere when we stop around Seattle. Especially with the fact that we're gonna be camping. Not camping, but we're gonna be outside a lot, and the humidity, and it's not gonna be humid. It's not gonna be warm. Like they're saying upper 60s, low 70s, which is comfortable, but it's gonna be the possibility of the humidity, and of course also the walking around, which makes me want to use and bring up more dry fit, moisture wicking hats. So I got two hats here. My Adidas, it's Climate, and it's also called Super Light, not Dry Fit. I guess this is Dry Fit is a thing that Nike owns for naming, but it's moisture wicking light material, almost like nylon. This was my bike hat for a while, so this I'm going to try to clean up. And this Gore-Tex hat is meant to also be moisture wicking, meant to be wet in the rain. And this one doesn't really fit so well, so I'm going to try to stretch it out. But that's a lot of irony to stretch out a hat that's meant to get wet. You see where I'm going with that? So let's go take a look at the let's go to the lab and try to work some magic on these hats. Clean this guy up and stretch this guy out. So let's see how this works out.
So I have a bit of a conundrum with my Mariners hats that, going to Seattle, that's where the Mariners play. That's like the main team. I know there's the Seahawks there, but in terms of hats, one Mariners hat. And I have this one, of course, but I wanted like a regular one. I originally wanted a dad hat, the brand 47 Cleanup, that was two-tone, because the teal is very unique to Seattle. But 47 brand didn't have that kind of color scheme. So I'm like, okay, I'll go to Lids. They had it in a 920 as a dad hat. Problem was, my discount didn't apply online. Sound familiar? I blame myself quite a little bit for my stubbornness that I did not order the hat. I didn't take the punch. I didn't take the hit. That I couldn't have said, okay, my $5 won't be taken off for my 20% discount for my lids code. Fine. I'll pay the extra $5 just so I can get the hat. Even though the low profile hat that I also wanted was applicable to the discount, I wanted the dad hat because I wanted to build on my collection for hat diversity. But no, my mind never works properly when buying hats. It's a big farce, really. It's also a paradox and a conundrum itself. So, Wednesday, August 18th, I ordered from Lids because that's when I saw that the code was applicable, or actually a secondary code that wasn't my email code that I paid for my discount as a member. And I ordered that, but it said it wouldn't arrive until August 25th. We leave that day, August 25th, at 7 a.m. So then August 20th, on Friday, I ordered the same dad hat from Dick's Sporting Goods with expedited shipping for Tuesday delivery. So far as I'm recording this right now, it might look like the Lids hat might arrive first, because it's already in Chicago, and as of now, the Dick's hat is in Louisville, Kentucky. So, we'll see. Granted, the Dick's Sporting Goods hat is coming through UPS, and Lids is using shitty FedEx, so that's also a big hindrance. So I'm on my way to Woodfield Mall. There's a Macy's here that I need to do some returns for, but there's 2 Lid stores at least. There's a locker room too, but there's 2 Lid stores that I know that have Mariners hats in the fitted style. So it's going to be kind of a waiting game. It's going to be, if I get the other dad hats delivered on time, then whoever comes last, I return. And I might just return the fitted hat then at that point. But that's going to be the big what-if waiting game here. So let's go take a look inside at Lids and what they have. I did get something from Lids. I got the Mariners hat in a 7.5, whereas lately I'm going through another identity crisis, or hat size identity crisis, of am I really 7.5 or 7.5/8? Because some of the 7.5s lately have felt kind of tight. So maybe I am a 7.5/8, or maybe it's the material, or maybe it's Bangladesh that's making them run small compared to what China is, but this one is China. Oh shit, this one's actually Haiti. I just realized that. This one is Haiti. This one is Haiti. That's very interesting. I only have one other Haiti hat. Haitian hat, technically speaking. That's a White Sox on field. Yeah, this one I had tried on. There's another one that felt pretty good, but this one a little bit more comfortable feeling. And probably stretch it out a little bit, and also bend the brim. I mean, already I'm looking in the mirror here. I mean, this is a pretty good bend, with, you know, in terms of what a low profile would be. You know, it's not like super curved like a dad hat would be, but that's, you know, that's why we get dad hats instead. So this one is already, I mean, actually the detail in the silver isn't as dirty as I thought it was going to be compared to some other Mariner hats that I've, you know, had in my hands before. So this one feels really nice. So probably gonna bring it along to the trip anyways. So we'll see how that turns out with the dad hats. And I also forgot to mention that I'm better than you at this moment because I got tortillas for lunch. And yes, I put ketchup on my hot dog. Isn't that cool? Alright, we are here in the lab. The very humid lab, because I turned off the dehumidifier so you can hear me at least. Or maybe you don't want to hear me. Well, shut up, Billy. Anyways, we're here to stretch a moisture wicking hat. It's going to be very counterproductive. And we're going to clean a dry fit hat. First thing we're going to do, fill this bucket with cold water. In the meantime, add 1 cup of detergent. Got the soap in there, got the hat. Cold water, it says. And this one seemed like a little bit too much of a job for crown clean, to be honest. And I don't think the material is well suited for crown clean. Not to say that I use crown clean for every other hat I pretty much have, for all my wools and polyesters and cottons, especially when I remove the sticker off the hats. So what's going on? Let's turn on the steamer. So for stretching out a hat, I've done a video on this before. I did a whole hat chat segment, but make sure when you're ever stretching a hat or curving the brim of a hat or in any way manipulating the fit, the construct of the hat, use steam. If you don't use steam, don't even call yourself a hat collector. To be honest, just don't. Because steam, especially for stretching out or curving brims, is going to be your best friend. Because in that way, it's going to learn a new shape and have more continuity that way. The other thing to add is when you're using the steamer, something I didn't know for quite a while, use distilled water. The chemicals inside, actually no chemicals inside, makes it better for hat fabric. Let's take the hat out first. We're going to kind of agitate it. We're going to clean it with a soft rag. That's what the article says here. This first one, because it's not Nike dry fit, but it's still a dry fit like material. I mean, dry fit's like the name of like the material that. So we're gonna start with the rag here just to get some of the spots on the underbrim, and already I'm noticing an improvement. I get the edges here. We'll add some extra agitation rubbing. Not too hard though, just a little bit, kind of not on the hat, but on the side of the hat here. And the brim, and on the actual hat, the crown. This is a very interesting hat. It doesn't have a button on the top. It has Velcro, kind of a like magnetic Velcro for the straps in the back. And the underbrim here, this guy was quite dirty, so put that on the side there for the moment. We're going to rinse that in a moment, but let's stretch out the hat. I'm like a chef here. I'm trying to balance everything. So we got the steamer over here, and then we got the cooling over there. We got the cold stuff. We got the warm stuff. Oh, look at that stuff. It's going nicely, isn't that? It knows that it's supposed to get wet, but doesn't know that it's going to have to stretch out. Because the Gore-Tex material, I remember when I bought it, I was too late to buy the correct size, 7 5/8, because it said whatever size you are, size up by 1/8. That way, with the material being kind of bulky, it'll handle it, your head size better. It'll be more comforting, be better fitting. Actually, before I go any further, this is sad, but I just noticed that it's just a skosh crooked. So make sure it's always straight up and down. A aligning with the tape on the inside. This hat stretcher I got from Hat Club. There's hat stretchers out there all the time, but I mean, I think for all the points that you get from all the Hat Club hats that you might get, you might be lucky on, I think you can at least get a free Hat Club hat stretcher, because that's the only thing you can use your points for. Because otherwise, it's impossible to use those points on a hat unless it's like a pre-order or a dad hat, which I've done. Not in the pre-order, the dad hat, or accessories. We're going to talk about that in another video another time. But let's give it a crank. We'll get back to that in a moment. But we're going to rinse this guy off in cold water. Alright, so this guy, we're going to find a nicer place to dry. It might just have to be in the sink down here, because it's really the only place I can allow drippage. Because it's pretty soaked. But stains, for the most part, you can probably see that all the dripping, but it looks pretty clean compared to the first shot that you saw of it. Alright, so we put a bucket underneath it to catch all the drips a little bit more secure. So let's get back to the gourd tank. And I'm kind of expediting the stretching process here. Kind of take your time with it, but I know that this might be a little bit redundant. But it's a bit of a paradox, but we'll see how it turns out. I remember trying to stretch this out a while ago, but I haven't done it in a while. I didn't do it with steam the first time, so that was my first problem. So we'll have to see how this turns out. So we'll see in a little bit, I guess. Well, in terms of editing.